808s and Joysticks with Tom Stone and Tairell Haywood-Brown.
Welcome to 808s and Joysticks, the show that bridges the gap between games, music, season with pop culture. I'm Tairell, and joining me today as always is Tom.
Welcome to 50, the big 50. We have made it to half a century. It's been roughly around 2 years now since we started the show, so we'd just like to quickly before we get into stuff, give a quick shout out, quick thank you to everyone that's listened throughout, old or new. If you're listening in the future, if you're listening in the past, I don't know how that works, but there's definitely something there that makes sense. But yeah, sort of kicking that off, and nice transition into our first gaming story there. Something that makes sense, something you don't like, something you don't think makes sense.
No,
is this whole Kickstarter campaign from existing games companies, companies that have a reputation, and they're going, we don't have the funding to do this. Why don't we get everyone else to kickstart it for us?
Yeah.
Platinum Games have just done this and launched a Kickstarter campaign for Wonderful 101 Remastered. So why are they? What is it? They're asking for like $500,000 for a PS4 stretch goal. Why do they need?
Exactly, Tom. Why do they need $500,000 for a PlayStation 4 port? What is that $500,000 gonna give them a license? Like, I don't get it.
I understand why, because you'd need a lot of people to still port the game over, but I don't understand the business model of the stuff like this, because yes, you're getting the money to fund the game, so $500,000, but by taking out that investment in the middle, you're sort of losing the profitability of it, because people buying this or investing into this as a Kickstarter will then already technically have a copy of the game, so you're not getting any profit on the back of it.
Exactly.
Or there is definitely profit off the back of it somewhere, because otherwise people wouldn't be doing this.
I just think it's just a really, really, really stupid way to basically trick people into thinking that a game that I didn't know how many people wanted this game, but it's the PC and Switch version only needed £50,000 to get to get a port. So what's that £50,000 being spent on, Tom, to port to the Switch and PC? That already sounds like they're made to me. Do you know what I mean?
It's 50,000 to port to a Switch and 250,000 to port to Steam.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I misread. I thought that the Switch and the PC version were both underneath the 50k bracket. Okay, I understand. 250k to port to PC. This still doesn't really make sense to me, though. Like, I don't really know how this is all working out. Especially, this is my entire problem with Platinum Games. This is a company that just got a lot of investment from Tencent. So why are they on Kickstarter getting money for?
I'm not sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to
make much sense.
I don't really know. Like, I'm not really trying to have a dig at Platinum Games, but they already are in bed with Tencent, and now you're trying to sell all these merch and like all these crazy things. You can get a vinyl of the soundtrack, and I just don't really understand that. Why is this happening? There's a replica leather jacket you can get as well. Are all these things really going to get delivered? Are we going to see this? Is it backers who pledge for a physical copy will receive a special backers only exclusive covers, and all backers will get DLC unlocked via the campaign stretch goals at no extra cost?
Mm-hmm. It's already reached its target. It's slowly increasing. As we're looking at this now, it's going up in big numbers, actually. It was at 368,000 when I started looking at this. It's now nearly at 370,000. So it's still going. People are still interested in this. I'm interested in what gets you a physical release of the game. Like the lowest tier, which is £28, gets you a digital release. But then obviously the higher you get, the more you can get. So you get the merchandise, like you said. This is meant to be delivered in April 2020, so that's 2 months away. I'm a little bit confused as to how they're meant to be meeting this deadline.
You see, Tom, doesn't this just sound like, oh, we've had this in the tuck. Let's see how much money we can get out of everyone.
It
just
does.
like...
It does. It sounds like I don't know, it just sort of sounds like a pre-order bundle thing, but...
Yo, hold on. There's just more to just even add to this rubbish. So, okay, we started working on the game before the Wii U platform existed. So the core mechanics of the game predate the technology of the Wii U. So removing touch input would not heavily affect the remastered versions. But it's coming out on the Switch. So, I don't understand.
Not a lot of this makes
None of this
sense
makes
to me.
sense. None of this makes sense. Oh my gosh, like none of this is making sense at all. And if you want extra content in the game, it has to be decided by stretch goals. I'm not understanding what's going on here. This is really stupid. If anybody actually invests in this, it's dumb. Like I don't think you should really do anything because it sounds like the game's coming out regardless. And also, people are like saying that this sounds like Shenmue 3 because Shenmue also had investments from Tencent and had massive backer on Kickstarter. I don't think it's really fair. If you really want to support Wonderful 101, buy the game when it just comes out. Forget this Kickstarter campaign because I feel like they're just trying to fraud people with like merch that's usually poorly made and nothing else. They're not offering anybody else. This is an old game. Like that, I didn't hear people wanting a remaster for. Not in my opinion, anyway. There's way more games that deserve the remaster over this.
So you're telling me you don't want Wonder Mask?
The hell is that?
A Wonder Mask. If you go on the Kickstarter campaign, you'll see a Wonder Mask. And that is available in the higher tiers.
Yo,
Now the highest tier,
Tom,
which is
this is joke.
the highest tier, which is sold out, is the Wonder Red, which is around 165,000 yen. It's got 7 backers. It's no longer available, but that's roughly around £1,200. You get blocked on Twitter by Camilla, apparently. I don't know why you'd pay $1,500 to get blocked on Twitter, but apparently that's a thing that people do. You get a pendant, the soundtrack on vinyl, on CD, a red replica jacket, a sticker set, a t-shirt, keychain, the game, a digital comic, softcover art book, physical comic book. Does it sound like £1,200 worth of stuff? No, not really. It sounds like overpriced crap, to be honest. Considering you can pledge £28 and get a digital copy of the game, I don't see the point in paying $1,200 for really overpriced limited edition merchandise.
And I just find it funny how the game was apparently going to be ready by April 2020, like, but all the rest of this physical stuff is not available until November.
Yeah, you can pledge if you really, really, really want to. You can pledge 550,000 yen.
That's so stupid.
Which is roughly around £3,850. For the pure platinum pack, that's limited to 7 people. It's currently got 0 backers on that tier, unsurprisingly. But you also get some custom controllers with that, including everything you got in the last pack. a keychain, a thank you mention in the art book, and the button display in a case, and a 12-inch figure, which the looks of it is a £2,000 12-inch figure, you would hope, because otherwise there's no real reason why you're £2,500 more expensive than previous tiers. But I don't know. Apparently some people are paying £1,500 for this stuff.
12-inch figure of Wonder Red. Mock-ups and more detailed info on this wonderful world will come in a future update. My guys, the game comes out in April. When are you going to update us on these rewards? Like, oh my gosh. This is absolute insanity. Like, is this how we've got? This is where we've got within the industry now.
I think it's a bit, like you said, I think it's definitely greedy. It's definitely overpriced stuff. I think it's like a cheap way to do a marketing campaign as well, because it's technically marketing. Everyone's saying, oh, they're Kickstarter in this. Good marketing, pushing it out into the media, and then people can buy it. I don't think you can be charging £3,850 for a bundle of a game with a 12-inch figure which you haven't released any mock-ups of. It just screams scam. Like, if someone rang you up out of the blue and was like, "Do you want to purchase this bundle for this, Kickstarter campaign for this game that's coming out, and you'll get all this stuff," you just go, "No, that sounds like an absolute scam." But for some reason, because Platinum's linked to it and it's a game and it's on Kickstarter, it seems legit. I think people need to remember you can still get scammed on, reputable websites.
I find it hilarious as well. Like, even if you did do that pure Platinum one, you don't actually get every single item.
Yeah, but that's the. It's just
that is just you don't even get a digital. You don't even get a digital version of the game, Tom, after you get any of the physical tiers. So how are people gonna? What are people gonna wait until November to play the game, or you're gonna have to buy it twice?
Well, you just buy the Platinum and then the digital as well.
Wow,
you got to back it twice.
Wow, that is just all of this. Platinum Games, we just took apart your whole Kickstarter backer, and everyone's still. I want to know who's backing it, because
whilst we've been discussing this, it has risen to 382,500, and there's now 7,600 backers with 31 days to go. So, in the time we've been speaking about this, which has been roughly 10 minutes, we could say, about £5,000 has been donated to that Kickstarter campaign.
Oh wow! Yeah, because I'm reading the comment section. There's a bunch of fucking idiots in there. Like I'm just looking at them. Like I'm just looking at all the comments. I was like, yeah, this is amazing. A Nintendo game on the PlayStation. That's what more people are more like. They care more that this is a Nintendo game on the PlayStation. But there has been lots of games that were Nintendo exclusives that have been ported to other systems in the past. This is not an anomaly. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really know why. Like, fair enough. If people really really want it, then fair dues. But like, this is the problem with the industry. Like, we're never ever gonna get out of this whole keep paying for things that are already made. Like, I don't really get it. Like, we're giving money to a company to release a game that's already there.
My advice would be, if you really want to get this game on a PlayStation, or you really invested and want to aim for those top tier things, go out and buy a Switch, a PlayStation, an Xbox, a Wii U, and the game, and it's still cheaper than some of the higher tiers.
Oh, damn! It is, damn. It actually is. You could probably go out there, and I know the Wonderful 101 original on Wii U is quite difficult to get now, but you can still probably get that for much more cheaper than that. And you will have all consoles You can get a really sick PC for some of these things that they're charging. I'm sorry. Like, why are people spending that much money on this?
It doesn't make any sense.
It just keeps going up.
We're just going to move on because
I know, we're just going in. We're just like...
There's not a lot more else we can say.
There's not a lot more to say other than, like, us just really just being... Just baffled.
Other than don't back this. You're stupid if you do, because it's coming out in 2 months, so they've obviously already made it for Switch. They're trying to get funding to port it, but they've obviously got funding already to get the game anyway. So it just seems odd, very odd. Doesn't really make too much sense to me. A Kickstarter campaign would normally start from the bottom and work its way up. It doesn't normally come
like this
with a 2-month release date.
Yeah,
for something like this. So it just gets odd.
It does. It really, really does. Like, you got a release date for the game, but you haven't got a release date for these figurines that you're selling people. Like, I don't make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just have no idea. Like, this is the reason why people get so upset and they get scammed all the time, because these companies make promises and because they think they can get money out of people, and then they never ever hold up their end of the bargain. Like, they just don't. It's just crap at the end of the day. Like, let's just leave it. We're going to go into something even more bullshit now, because 'tis the industry. Do you want to get on this first, or should I get on this first?
We can speak about remasters again, because that seems to be the ongoing theme.
Mm-hmm.
And Warcraft 3 Reforged came out, a game everyone was excited for. The big World of Warcraft fans were, or just Warcraft fans in general, I should say, really excited for this game. It is now the lowest user scored game on Metacritic, so I'll just leave it at that. It's got a 0.5 out of 10, I think. Yeah. You can make your own assumption on that, whether you think that is good or not, whether you think Blizzard have done something bad again. Make your decision on that. A quote that a user has said is, "Don't buy, don't 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 buy." I don't think there's more that needs to be said. Self-explanatory. What are Blizzard doing? That's
Exactly.
That's the question I posed to you. What are Blizzard doing? Because they're obviously not making games.
Yo, why am I actually looking at some of these screenshots from the old classic version of Warcraft and looking at the new Reforged version, and they've took detail out? How is that possible?
How is Fallout 76 possible?
Oh, I can't believe that shit's still going. It's
not.
It's not. Well, it isn't, but like, my God, like, I don't know. What are Blizzard doing? Like, so they tried to come out and they got everyone back on their side because they did that whole Diablo 4 thing, and all of the fanboys got their panties in a twist after that one, and they were like, oh yeah, we're back on Blizzard. So now you've seen that they can take something that you really enjoy again and ruin it. So are we going to keep the same energy this time around? Are people really going to boycott Blizzard? Or are we going to just run around in circles once again? Because you can clearly see they're not producing good games anymore. I think the last good thing they've got is Overwatch, and I heard they're turning that into a massive mess as well.
I don't think anyone is going to sort of stick to their guns with this either. I think it's just going to go back to how it is again. We see the same patterns all the time. People just go,
the main contention point for this as well, by the way, is the fact that they deleted the classic World of Warcraft 3. So this Reforged version is Warcraft 3 now. That is it. That is the real issue, because people wanted to play the classic version. So Blizzard essentially
Okay.
has upset their entire fan base basically because Warcraft has been going for so many years. Like, I can't even imagine like some of the people that have been playing this game. They met their like wives on that game. They met like their longtime friends, their partners, husbands. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an important game for people. And for Blizzard to do something like this, I can see why people are acting the way they're acting. It's just horrible. Like, you like one of your favorite games ever, and like, you know, they just ruin it, and there's no turning back.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like it's. I can't think of the right word, but it doesn't seem like they really care anymore. Like it seems to be a pattern we keep seeing with them. Why they're deleting old versions of games and replacing them with, I don't know. Weirdly enough, Microsoft Studios have done the right thing with Age of Empires for this type of game, and that is actually a really decent HD remaster. Not the actual HD remaster, but like the next one, it's like a remake. That was really good. And they still kept the HD remasters available as well, but I think that's how you do it, not whatever they've done here. And I can't explain or give an answer as to why Blizzard just keeps shooting themselves in the foot. How much Activision are playing a part in that, I don't know. How much people like China are playing a part in that, I don't know. People obviously always jump to conclusions on the internet. We see that, and people just blame China for everything. But it's not just Chinese people or the Chinese companies that are making the decisions here. They're not majority stakeholders in this business. Activision are, and the existing Blizzard people are, and it just seems like they're not grasping the market, or they don't have any fresh ideas, and they're just trying to, by deleting the old game, it's sort of forcing people to buy the new one, and they're just sort of thinking, well, we don't care, people are going to do it. And by the looks of it, people moan and then still do it. So there's got to be some reason why they keep doing it. There's got to be statistics out there that back it up to say that, there's all this backlash to start with, but at the same time, it's decent marketing because everyone knows the name, and then it dies down and everyone buys the game again because they love it so much for nostalgia. There's got to be some reason, because otherwise I don't see how it's a viable business model for the next few years.
I wonder, this decade's going to be plagued with remasters, isn't it? And I'm just trying to think, like, how are we gonna? It's our job, Tom, to maneuver and point out the bullshit, like, because there is good remasters, there really is. Like, this wonderful 101 remaster, as much as we just gave it shit, if they did not do what they did with the Kickstarter and just released it, it could have been amazing. It could have been such a nice surprise for everyone. You could have had some merch that people could have brought and, keep it nice. And that's it. It could have been ended. Over. But no, you have to do this. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to do things like Kickstarter. It's the same thing with Warcraft 3. You have to do stupid things like release cutscenes, and then when the game comes out, the cutscenes are no longer in part of the game anymore. They've changed the cutscenes to look even more shit. Like, why are you doing that? Why are Blizzard releasing trailers that are pre-rendered and releasing gameplay? Do you know that don't work no more? Like, seriously, like, do you think you can still do these kind of things in this day and age where we can look at the trailer and play the game at the same time and be like, hey, wait a minute, they just lied to us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is, though, you can do that. That is the problem. I think that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How many times over the last decade have we said stuff like that about games and companies, and everyone's like, okay, that company's ruined. Yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, no, I like that game, actually.
It's exactly the same. It's the same I say it's the same with everything. Everyone makes an excuse for what they want to like sometimes, but then also it's time for people to start taking a bigger stance, because if we don't, as consumers or customers or whatever, if we don't speak up about things like that and say like, oh, this is obviously a rip-off and a scam, like, people are just gonna carry on. Like, yeah, there is gonna be that some of that core people who don't care about it because they're so addicted to playing Warcraft. They're just gonna keep playing the bullshit version anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then there is some people who will say enough is enough. Blizzard has messed around. They've took too much of my money, and now me as a consumer, or should I go more closer to like as a player, or like, you know, as a fan, I should be treated with more respect. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then it's time for people to just start leaving the game, start boycotting it, start, you know, start actually doing things, because that is how the game gets improved. That is how things get improved. You need to not play the game. When they see their player base dropping, that is when they will start to make major differences. Trust me, we wouldn't have EA right now shaking and making single player games if Anthem didn't fail and people didn't say it was failing and say how bad it was of a game. So
I should point out hypocritically on that as well, I have purchased FIFA, so
God damn it, Tom. Well, I'm not on that side, but you know what, it's cool. Tom enjoys football. I enjoy football as well. I don't really enjoy football games that much because I feel like they've hit a point and I've played every football game and I can't be asked anymore with them. So it's cool. I mean,
technically, I've gave no money to EA because I bought a game used secondhand, so none of my money has gone directly to EA.
Oh, okay. Well, you would, Tom. Why didn't you say that before?
I'm not going to be purchasing packs or coins or anything within the game because I don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that stuff anymore.
I just it's £15. I thought, get it, see what it's like. I play it online a bit more.
Okay.
But like I won't be purchasing anything. I'll just be playing online with friends. There's different modes that other games don't offer.
What's that Volta stuff saying?
It is.
Is it anywhere as good as like 2K?
It's FIFA with less players on the pitch.
I was gonna say, is it like anywhere as good as 2K My Park? Because I know like that's what people play. That it was very compared to that. Like,
not really, not the same concept. It probably might be in the future, but it's not the same concept at the moment. But it's no FIFA Street. And everyone will tell you that. Doesn't matter how dedicated a fan they are, it's no FIFA.
When we seen that trailer, I was just like, I know they're not telling me that FIFA Street is this now, because this is... I don't know why it's so hard to just recreate FIFA Street 2 again. Like, come on now. Like, that was like the best... Like, I don't know. What FIFA Street do you reckon was the best? Because I say it was either 2 or 1. 3 was whack. And that other FIFA Street, we don't ever talk about FIFA Street on PlayStation 3.
That's currently based. That's what Volta is basically. Volta is the 2013 FIFA Street.
Oh my god!
Or whenever it came out, that's basically what it is.
Do you know what, yeah,
which is fine.
Which one? No,
but it's not.
Which was the FIFA?
It's not. It's not EA big.
I was gonna say is yeah. Of course, it's not EA big. Like, we would never ever have great games anymore because they freaking shut it down. Like. One second, I'm just looking up FIFA Street because what was the one with the funny art style? Was that 3?
That was 3.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
That was 3 when Peter Crouch was about 7 foot.
God, that
and was
just...
I don't understand the change for that.
Absolutely,
didn't ever make sense.
Look at this, look at the front cover. Yeah, who's that supposed to be on the front cover? There's no footballer. There's that one.
Are you on about Peter Crouch there?
No. Who's supposed to be on the left?
Are you on about Rooney? Is that meant to be Rooney?
Is that supposed to be Rooney?
I've not got it up in front of me.
Oh, you're not gonna. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, do you want me to send you a picture?
That is, it's an Italian player of some sort, and I can't.
Yeah, but we all know we all know he didn't. He never looked like that. He wasn't that wham.
Gattuso. No, Gattuso was never like. No, he just looks obese on that cover.
I just like, what's going on there? Like, honestly, what is going on in that cover? Like, FIFA Street 2 was the best FIFA Street in my opinion, and then FIFA Street 1, and then I guess FIFA Street 3 because we just have to, because FIFA Street 2013 was absolute garbage.
I don't know. I might give the newer FIFA Street it over 3 because I just can't condone whatever they did to that.
Do you know what? Yeah, I might have to agree with you because that art style is really just upsetting me. I'm looking at gameplay. I'm thinking, did we really play this game and thought it was okay?
No,
like,
no one did. That's why they stopped.
Oh my gosh, man! Why does FIFA just get it so wrong sometimes? Like, I don't know what they're doing over there at EA. Yeah, okay, we got so off track right there. Let's get back on track. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, it's been a pretty like negative time for the industry at the moment. Like, well, we're gonna have like some potential good news here. Like, we're just gonna move it on from. Anyway, yeah. Fuck Warcraft. I like don't buy it. Like, hopefully a dedicated fan manages. It shouldn't be like this, but hopefully a dedicated fan manages to recreate the classic Warcraft or bring it back on a server somewhere so everyone can enjoy it. Because I think that's really like upsetting as a fan that's been playing the game for so many years, since 2002, for it to be wiped away and an inferior, worse version has been replaced. So I just think it's wrong.
Well, what will happen is they'll either release a new version at some point in the future, a new remaster that fixes all the stuff they've done wrong.
The remaster. Yes.
Yeah, or a remake. Or someone will do what you've just said and open source it, and then Blizzard will put a big court order on it and shut it down.
No. What they'll do, they'll shut it down, and then about 2 months later, Warcraft Classic comes back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a very good.
Oh my gosh.
Very good business model.
Oh gosh, it's really just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Moving on to other things now. I don't know if it's just because I'm just coming in to this show just being super skeptical on it about everything and just really not really happy with like the gaming industry at the moment, like, because things just keep happening and like we're heating up to the new generation, but so much bullshit still going on, and you know, it never ceases, does it? And yeah, I just wanted to really have just like a small conversation. So, Tom, what do you feel about when new game studios are created by quote-unquote veteran devs? What do you feel like, because I don't know how many times that this has actually worked out and been good.
I don't mind it. I think as long as they have the right idea or the right structure and plan in place, it can work. But I mean, you're sort of discussing this archetype entertainment.
Yeah.
So that's a new company led by what, like ex BioWare directors, ex BioWare director and designer, and another ex BioWare dev. So yes. You've got people that like have worked on big games here. They're going more into indie, by the looks of this, with these RPG things, which is, you know, sort of Dungeons and Dragons based stuff, which is, I think, is fine. I think like those people are passionate about the game, and they sort of lose that when they're in these bigger companies, and when they go to a smaller company, they can bring that passion back. And
yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people interested in these games that people are bringing out.
Oh, of course, this is like a Dungeons and Dragons based game. Like, of course, it's definitely going to be like, definitely.
But I don't think it's going to be like, these games never reach sort of, the same as EA or anything like that. And I think like it's good in a way because these developers go on and do something they like, but also like you're letting probably good talent go because of bad decisions elsewhere, and it can go sort of full circle. It can. We've never really seen. I think the point you're trying to put across to me is we've never really seen these people make anything amazing. Maybe the only time is when we've seen like Bungie split off and make Destiny.
Yeah,
that's like the only time, and that's not a new studio as such, but it's like they did something themselves. That's probably the only time we've seen a success, like a massive success from something like this.
Shouts out to Bungie for the amazing work they did on trying to turn around Destiny, because the game is thriving now and people love it. So, yeah,
and that's another thing. Like Destiny, originally, they partnered with people to fund their game, and had an idea of where they wanted to take it as the developers, and they got it to a certain point, and then obviously there was probably interference from other people with microtransactions and stuff. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you're working with Activision, there's definitely going to be interference with stuff like that. Like, I don't think that was their decision. I think that was Activision's decision. Hence why they then decided to leave, and like you said, have now, made the game into what they want again, and people enjoy it. And
yeah, from what I'm seeing,
that's great.
It's definitely becoming more of a continuous experience. Like, they are updating it more and more and trying to give people more like raids and things like that. So that is what the game was supposed to be like at its base level, and I'm glad that Bungie have tried to kind of like bring it back to that level now. And because for people who are massive Halo fans, this is basically just like a Halo MMO, really. Like, it's got lots of things to do. It's got loot. It's got all sorts of things, like quests. Essentially, it's what Halo would have been if it was like an online service.
It's basically like a what do you say, like a B-tier Anthem, you could say.
Yeah, well, I think that Anthem obviously really strived to be like Destiny, like in what they were doing, but tried to take too many elements from different games. Like, they had like flying suits and stuff that was obviously definitely taken from Titanfall, and like, moving with mechanics, even though the devs couldn't figure out how to make jetpacks work for a year. It's a funny story. I don't know how you could be a games dev and not know how to make a jetpack work for a year, even though you've had games that have had jetpacks in it already. I know it's not cut and dry, but I'm still thinking like a year.
Do you want me to tell you a secret?
What's the secret?
Do you remember when I played the beta?
Yeah,
they still couldn't get jetpacks to work properly.
Oh my gosh!
Because I didn't have a fucking clue how to fly that thing. Maybe it was just me, but...
No, it wasn't. It was a real issue. Apparently, the jetpacks was one of the biggest issues of the game. They couldn't get flight right. And I was just like...
It did feel bad.
How could they not get the flight right, though? Like, I don't really understand. Like, isn't there... There's been many... Mass Effect is set in space. I don't get it. Like... I have no idea, man. I have no idea. But the one reason why I was worried as well is because, like... the new studio for like this studio that's working on this Dungeons and Dragons game, he's the new studio general manager and vice president. He used to be the head of live services. He was the guy that, like, I swear only stayed at like Anthem for like a month or something. Didn't do any major changes, didn't do anything to help. So I'm just like, okay, so we've got the same people who didn't do the right decisions in the first place then.
Well, I don't know if you could say he didn't.
Yeah,
I don't think he had enough time to influence anything.
True, but he left though of his own accord. Like, he was the head of live services, but like he made all these promises to the player. Because I remember it all. Like, I was following Anthem because I found it quite interesting how they were basically just covering their own tracks and lying every time something didn't come out according to the roadmap, which I'm glad people 2020. Let's get rid of the roadmap because we don't need them anymore. Just release the game, please, and then just tell me if you're going to release some extra content, because I don't want to be disappointed when like September rolls round and the expansion don't drop. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just really stupid. Roadmaps for games, like you're literally telling me that you haven't developed the game all the way. It's just what time we're in. Like,
I think we'll have to wait and see what comes of it. But yeah, I mean, normally when you see people like that join in and then leaving of their own accord pretty soon after, it seems to be something wrong with, you know,
we're there. Fair enough.
Yeah, that would be my personal opinion from an industry point of view, and seeing what would be going on. But I think we've sort of there's a lot of stuff we can discuss, but I think we've discussed enough negative stuff.
Yeah,
and I think that there's something that might be negative to a degree because it's something you might not like, but it's something that has been going around for a long time now. I've seen a lot of people play it, and that's the game TemTem.
I'm in, Tom. Why would I not like this? In? Like,
I'm not a big fan of this.
This is what Nintendo should have done in the first place. What are they doing?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this. I don't think that Pokemon should necessarily be an MMO. I like the single player aspect of it.
Okay. I respect that because some people really
I would prefer it to be more of an open world experience, but not an MMO. Just
okay.
I feel like that ruins the whole exploration part of Pokemon because the MMOs just get crowded with people.
Mm. And you're trying, and obviously, if you're trying to focus on the game, and like, you know, people are trying to like grief you or like maybe trying to battle you or something, maybe there might be a in the future a way or a mode to like maybe kind of play like a single player experience somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But
I say I haven't done too much research into it, but I don't really. I think I like Pokemon too much to be able to go to another game that doesn't have actual Pokemon in it. Like, I feel like I'll pick up like this bird and be like, it's a bird, but it's not a Pokemon. It's a whatever it's called, a Tem. So for me, like, may give it a go, but it's just it doesn't have that same nostalgia, you could say, or
yeah,
you know, I don't want to say emotional connection, but you know, that same connection that Pokemon has with you, like the source material doesn't connect the same way, because obviously the source material from Pokemon comes from the anime and the games when you're little, and the, you know, anything else you like, anything you've maybe read on it, that's where you get that connection to it. Whereas this, it's just sort of the game, and that's where I feel it's different. Like it's the same as Pokemon, but it's different because there's not that backstory there that Pokemon has, and I think that's why Pokemon is just so highly regarded in that sense. But you convince me. Go on, convince me.
No, I can't really like convince you, because those are all really valid opinions on why you wouldn't want to play a game like this, because honestly, you're just basically saying more in the sense of like you relate to Pokemon and the source material. But you know, there's all these other things about Pokemon that draws you in, and I agree as well. I just felt like I am happy that somebody has tried to kind of like adapt that Pokemon like kind of idea, because I just feel like Pokemon in itself hasn't really evolved that much as a game. And it's funny because Pokemon is all about evolution, and the game itself, as I said, I don't feel like it's done enough to evolve into something different. Like, I wasn't happy with Sword and Shield, like how they took away Pokemon and lied about animations, and then now they brought the Pokemon back as DLC, and I just don't really know what Nintendo wants to do with Pokemon. They know that it just makes them money regardless. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just something that makes money now, and the fan base is also not too much of a fan base that would care if Pokemon was like mediocre or something, or if it just came out and it was exactly the same Pokemon, because they're happy to just play Pokemon again. In the same vein though, I do like some of the things that they're doing in there. You know, character customization was a big thing. Like, it's apparently really, really detailed, and I feel like that's great. Like, you know, allows you to choose animations, all sorts of things like that. Like, I feel like that's quite detailed for an early access MMO of like something like of this scale, to have like a proper character builder in there. And yeah, I think the online all the time isn't really like, it's not really my jam either, really. But obviously, it is an MMO. I think I'm gonna leave it and see how it like. I'm gonna see how it like, how over time it improves, because apparently it's got a lot of negative points to it as well, and I can't like ignore those negative points as well. Like, I heard the grind system on there is quite difficult. I also heard there's like certain things like prices, and you know, people have managed to find like exploits and stuff like that already within the game, and you know, the typical MMO stuff. You know, people just being people, just, you know, doing all sorts of things within the game to try and exploit, because it's an early game, so there's obviously going to be several bugs and problems within it. And yeah, I don't really know. And also, like, fuck anyone who has like issues with creating your character however you want. Apparently there was a massive problem with why on TemTem you can be whatever you want to be. You can address yourself however you want to address yourself, and apparently some people in the gaming community thought that was them being too PC and being SJWs. And I just think, like, come on, man, like, it's just a character customization. Like, just chill out.
I mean, you're catching made up creatures.
Like, exactly. Like, oh my god. Like, honestly, Tom, every day we stray further and further away. Like, I swear.
I have heard a lot about this. It's published by Humble Bundle.
That's mad. I had no idea. Since when did Humble Bundle start like publishing games?
Since IGN bought them a few years ago.
Goddamn IGN! Oh no, so we can't have an IGN published game.
It's technically an IGN published game.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
But
did IGN give it a 10?
Probably. IGN have been giving it a lot of publicity. I will say that. I have seen it advertised a lot.
Is that fair though? Are they allowed to do stuff like that? Like,
technically, yeah. I mean, they're partnered with Humble Bundle. Like, it's known, so there's no reason why you can't. They're not exactly saying it's the best game in the world, but like, they're just giving it more attention than possibly other games. But it's going to perk people's interests anyway. I do think there's a lot of positives for this. Like I say, it's not necessarily for me. It is technically still a single-player game in an online world, if you want it to be. Or you can play co-op, which it's nice, but I don't know if it's, you know, if it's necessarily a game for everyone.
Yeah, and also I heard the co-op is not very stable at the moment, so that's just another issue of, you know, an early access game and something,
it's been out in beta
and an
for 2
MMO
weeks.
as well. Like, so
it's been out in beta for 2 weeks. However, I will say, if you're a big fan of Animal Crossing and Pokemon and are looking for something new or something to play a lot of the time, then this might be a game for you.
Yeah,
because it has a lot of those Animal Crossing features to a degree, or things like Stardew Valley, The grind there, the customization with your house, the multiplayer aspects of stuff. You know,
I'd say
you have that good aspect to it.
You got 6 islands as well, 8 dojos. It's actually got quite a lot in a game, to be honest. Like, it seems like it's been developed to some sort of competent level.
Yeah, it does. I will say that it's got some good content for a beta. It looks very interesting. I will follow closely with you, but
yeah,
like I say, I don't think. For me, games like this are more suited to single player. I don't have the time to put in
no.
for this.
Maybe
if I was younger, maybe I would be playing this.
Oh my gosh, what's it called? Imagine if this was out and we had great internet. Yo, 12-year-old us would be all over this shit. Like, come on now, this is great. Like this is like an MMO I actually would like want to play. Like. But yeah, it's just, that's another thing, it's time as well. Like, I don't really got time to really grind on MMOs these days, but
I don't have time to play FIFA.
There you go.
Like,
that's
so I don't have time to grind to be the best TemTem trainer there is.
I wanna be the very best. We have to remix it now. We have to remix it.
I think it's interesting. Something's gonna happen from it. I might have forced Pokemon to do this whole co-op thing because TemTem has been known about for a good while now, and co-op was obviously a big thing with the MMO stuff. And obviously Pokemon announced for their DLC that co-op's going to be coming to the new Pokemon. How much of that, I'm not sure. There's obviously the online aspect of Pokemon, and dedicated Pokemon players love battling online. So it's probably more for the dedicated players, but I think more casuals are going to steer away from something like this, and that's a lot of the time we normally see stuff like that with MMOs anyway. You have to be a bit more dedicated to invest in an MMO.
Yeah, well, I feel like from what I'm reading, this is like a game for like people who want, like, as I said, a little bit more on top of their Pokemon experience. So I think you're right. I think it's for like the person who's like a dedicated, like they're hardcore. They may have thought like, I'm getting burnt out on Pokemon, and then this comes out. This might be the one that can catch their attention. It's everlasting. It's online all the time, so you've constantly got people to fight against. Like, and it's going to be an actual, like, you know, like actual players and stuff like that. Like, it's quite dynamic. I can see the positives and the negatives, so I agree with you. Let's just follow this. I might try it out actually, like just to see if we can like kind of play it, like give a little review about what it's like. But I also heard it's very hard to get into the servers as well, so we'll have to see about TemTem for now. But yeah,
I won't be picking this up, but I will say, if you are looking at picking it up, bear in mind it is published by Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle, even though IGN now own it, do good deals on PC gaming bundles a lot. Bear in mind this will probably not have a discount for a while or be included because it does have, technically it's still in early access, but don't be surprised if they start including discount codes for this game in Humble Bundles in the future. That's something I think will definitely be happening. They'll be giving maybe 20-30% off discount codes in future Humble Bundles, and that'll then sort of allow you to purchase the game at a cheaper price.
Damn.
Which, for an MMO, I mean, there's no subscription by the looks of it, which...
That's a good thing at the moment. There is no subscription, but it could be if they start introducing like, you know, like pricing models and all
there will be a subscription. There's no way you can run an MMO
without one, unless
without a subscription to keep your servers up.
You can do free versions and you can do like a premium version of the game as well. Like that's the only way I can see them getting around this. So you can have like a free base version of the game and then like the premium version, like you could just do so much more in the world, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can get like, maybe the free version is only one island or something. I can see that working.
Yeah, I think you also have to bear in mind with this, compared to Pokemon. I don't include Pokemon Go in this, but obviously, being an MMO, you are going to get a lot of microtransactions if you're going to be playing this game, because you have to keep the game supported somehow. And obviously, they rely on dedicated players to do that by purchasing more in-game content. So, do bear that in mind. I know you could say that that's linked to like Pokemon's DLC or whatever. But obviously, you know, you're getting big chunks of the game there.
Pokemon have been doing other things that are way worse than microtransaction for years. Like, oh, come on now. They've been essentially releasing like 5 versions of one game sometimes. Like, come on now. Like, I think that Pokemon is, yeah, they've got their own ways of monetizing stuff for sure.
They do, but they get a lot of criticism, probably not needed criticism. I've again, you know, been speaking to people about the recent game and heard it's not too bad. Apparently it's easy, but I mean, I feel like if you're complaining about this game being easy, you're playing the wrong game. Like, it's designed for everyone. Like, it's not meant to be this high energy octane strategy game. Like, it's not a Total War. It's Pokemon. Like,
yo, can you imagine man going into the Pokemon thinking it's Warhammer?
Yeah, like it's not like it.
It's like, God damn it! I just killed them all in one go. Oh man, I think some people do really like. Sometimes if they're playing such a difficult game, like I feel like somebody who's been playing Dark Souls for so long will start to see other games as easy games just because Dark Souls is such a difficult game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like, people just said that, like, battling in Pokemon, it was easy because you train your Pokemon up and then single play. Like, yes, it's easy because it's a 3+ game.
Oh my gosh!
If it wasn't easy, then it wouldn't be a 3+ game. You can't expect, like, you can't give a game such as with the difficulty of Dark Souls to a 3-year-old and go have fun.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't happen. You have to make it accessible to everyone, and that's what Pokemon.
But
is,
wait a minute, Tom. Remember, it's not made for kids. It's made for us. All right. Nintendo should only be caring about people who bought the NES and stuff like that. Like, it's always honestly when I see some of the comments from people, I'm just like, you are actually all grown ups now. Like, are you seriously complaining about certain aspects of like these games that are literally made for a different audience now?
The majority of Pokemon fans are adults, but you have to bear in mind that Nintendo's target market, where they make the most money, is children, because that's how they merchandise the stuff. If they can get that game into a child's hand, or the anime into a child's, you know, onto a child's TV screen, that's where they make their money, because the child wants a Pikachu or whatever the hell else. Like, there's, I don't know how many to choose from now. Like, they could pick anything they want and go, I want like these 300 Pokemon and I want them all like in my room. And the parents will be like, okay, well, Nintendo have just got our money now. Like, you buy that one game and you end up buying those toys for a lifetime. And that's their business model. This is what I'm saying with something like TemTem. It's online. You don't have that business model, but you're only paying for like online in the game stuff. But then there's no source content outside the game that you can sort of like relate to. So they are different. I think this is aimed more towards an older audience.
Well,
but again, not that much older. Like maybe a 7+.
Joe, it's funny you should actually say that, because I'm currently searching up demographics, because I just like stats and stuff. I'm currently searching up demographics of like Pokemon, or like who is the, you know, how much like, you know, revenue comes from what and stuff like that. So far, This is from VG Sales fandom, like wiki, like it's been accredited, and there's like references and that. So going off this data, I'm assuming it's legit. Regional breakdown. So 35% is in Japan and 65% overseas franchise revenues. I expected that because, the world is, overseas is the rest of the world and Japan is just one area. But it's quite impressive that Japan is 35% of all of Pokemon's revenue. The demographic breakdown. Oh, damn, this is not even... Okay, apparently this is for Pokemon Go users because they can't really manage to, they can't gather data, apparently, about the Pokemon games because it's just too inaccurate. I suppose you would have to go and make a survey, wouldn't you? So, Pokemon Go users, gender, female, 63%, male, 37%, ages, 22% is between the age of 13 to 17, 18 between 18 and 29, 46%, and then 30 and 50, 25%, and then over 50, 60%. So, yeah, you're right. It's going into that older market now, isn't it?
What? Over 60?
Over 50, sorry.
Over 50, what, 60%?
No, sorry, 6%, sorry. 6%. I got that all. Sorry.
I was gonna say,
I am really sorry. But although I do see, older couples and stuff playing Pokemon Go, and I find that quite interesting. I asked...
What, over 50?
Yeah, no, really, honestly. I asked them...
Down the retirement home, and everyone's playing Pokemon.
No, not quite like that old, but they're probably in their 50s to their 60s. And I asked them, and they said it's a great way to keep in shape. They're traveling around, and they said that Pokemon's something that they know. I was like, cool.
I do know that a lot of people, older people, did that in a way to actually combat sort of spending more time with their maybe children or grandchildren.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing too.
And being able to sort of be active at the same time, that is a really good sort of thing for that game. But we are very far behind the times on that because that game's not been relevant as such in the mainstream for a good few years now. It's still a big user base, as we always discuss.
Oh yeah, and Pokemon Go brings in so much money for I don't even know how much money it brings in a year, but it's doing very well still.
I actually spent money on that game.
Oh, Tom,
it was gifted money I got from Survey. It was a voucher, but
Tom, we've all spent P on Pokemon Go at one point. Everyone's ran out of Pokeballs, okay?
Oh no, I didn't spend it on Pokeballs.
What did you buy?
No, I needed to expand my storage space.
Oh, okay.
So I had to do that a few times.
I'm about to say, Pokemon Go's, revenue, keeps going up, apparently. And it's hit 3 billion last year of lifetime revenue. And that's a game that came out not very long ago. So, yeah, Pokemon is really... Pokemon Go is still really, really, popular. I still play it, every now and again.
I've not played it in a while. And I doubt I will anytime soon, but we'll see. Anyway, we've discussed a lot of gaming news. There's not much else for us to discuss without being too negative. So we will move on to films and TV in the sort of halfway segment of the show.
Bridging the gap between music and gaming. 808s and Joysticks.com.
And this week we've seen Bojack actually come back for his final 6 episodes, I believe. Part 2 of the last season 6. And that's it. The premiere is done. And it's basically no more Bojack now. It's here. The episodes are on Netflix. You can stream them now. And once you finish, you finish. There's no more.
And the Bojack, man. Well, we've been watching Bojack for ages as well. Damn, can't believe it. It's sad. It's sad. being grown up and having shows end in like your life cycle. Like this is a streaming, so this is probably one of the first streaming shows only that is ended, like, for us, like properly ended.
I think it's good that it's ended. I think it's
it ran its course for sure.
Yeah, it ran its natural course, and it will be highly regarded as a good show because it's ended at the right time. Like, it's not trying to do anything too much. It's not trying to stay for too long, or
and I can definitely go back and watch Bojack because so many plot points and storylines and themes of Bojack are relevant. Like, it's really, really good.
I have not watched the final 6 episodes yet.
Neither have I. So
I got through part 1, so like halfway through the season.
Oh damn! Okay, let's discuss then, because you finally watched part 1. So what did you think in the end? Was you shocked?
I can't really remember what.
Damn it, Tom! Alright, cool. I will give you a quick rundown of what happened. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Is in rehab, and Sarah Lynn's death or something like that, and obviously someone talks to Hollyhock, and then it like ends. So I remember that.
You are missing
the
broadest
overview.
I'm about to say that is such an overview about the story of Bojack. Like, there's so many other things that happen, Tom. Like, come on now. Yeah, there's tons of things that go down in Bojack, and it was a really, really sad season. Some of the episodes, I was finding it kind of hard to watch. I was like, damn, like, this is gonna end bad for Bojack. Yeah, basically, something that he did a long time ago is obviously causing a ripple effect on everything now. Like, certain things that he's doing in the past, and obviously he's trying to make things right now, innit? But I think his past is catching up to him. Without spoiling it too much, but Sarah Lynn's death, Hollyhock, yeah, there's a bunch of things that will, there's a bunch of things.
Send shivers down your spine.
Yeah, so
I probably won't, but
to be honest, it is really kind of a little bit like crazy because like the storyline that they're going down with it's quite dark, isn't it? Really, when you think about it.
It's always been a dark show.
Yeah.
It started off as like very tongue-in-cheek to a degree. Like, it still had its dark elements, but you never really seen the full picture because the story didn't... You had no emotional connection to the character, and the story didn't delve into anything. And obviously, as it's gone on, people have gained that connection, and the writers have sort of gone with it and took it down that way. And it's a really good show that gives a lot of exposure to... a lot of mental health issues or depression, drug abuse, stuff like that. But also it's very, lighthearted and doesn't take itself seriously either. Which is, I think, the best way for that because it connects with everyone, but also you can watch it and, not have to connect with the source material as such. You can just watch it and sort of respect what's going on, but also enjoy it as a comedy.
Yeah,
it's very clever show, and I will miss it dearly when it's gone.
I'm really gonna miss Bojack as well. Yeah.
But there's a show that I am looking forward to, and I think we've discussed this before, but never fully. But the trailer came out. I mean, there's a lot of Super Bowl commercial trailers that come out, which we'll discuss in a minute, but a trailer for this came out the other day, and that's Apple TV Plus's Mythic Quest. Now, if you remember this is Rob McElhenney's new show coming to Apple TV, which is called Mythic Quest Raven's Blood, I believe, and it's basically like a mockumentary, sort of Silicon Valley style, about a games company that holds an MMO. Obviously, Rob McElhenney, creator of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it just looks like a match made in heaven, really. Especially for us, I think. Like, both. I mean, a lot of people are big fans of Always Sunny, but to have this sort of Silicon Valley-esque games industry style show coming with that cast, it just looks like it's going to be really, really good. Have you had a chance to watch the trailer or seen anything about this?
I haven't watched the trailer, but I have read some things about it. Some people are already trying to like slander it. I think this is a great thing. I don't know what people's problem is in it. Like, I just
the problem is it's taking the piss out of these people that are trying to slander it. That's why they're probably trying to slander it, because it's these people who are in the games industry or the computing industry who think they're so great, a little bit like Silicon Valley did, and it just really just takes the piss out of like how far away from like reality these people actually are. Like the I think the character Rob McAnally plays is called, well, I think his name is Ian, but he calls himself I Am to sort of be different. And
sure, I don't even know why I'm not using Apple TV Plus, because I get it for free currently, and I just haven't used it. So
yeah, I think, I'm not sure the exact date this comes.
February the 7th.
Is it February the 7th? Interesting. I'm very excited for that then now. It's also, this is the thing that they announced at E3 Ubisoft. This is in partnership with them to a degree, which is weird, but I mean, I'm sort of down for more stuff like this if it really sort of helps. There's a lot of gaming Easter eggs packed into it apparently, which is always a nice thing to have in the background of a TV show, something else to pick up on. And I mean, Always Sunny is still going strong after 14 seasons now. It doesn't look like it's going to be, slowing down anytime soon. It's still as funny as ever. And this is only like another string to his bow, you could say. And I'm really excited for this. I think you sort of get that from
what you're saying. Yeah, Always Sunny was really great. The cast so far is great. The premise, I like the premise. Like it's up my street. I just wanna see stuff like this succeed, and hopefully we can get more shows like this. Because we need to start kind of like not normalizing, but trying to like maybe, giving ourselves a bit more of a more, I don't know, satirical look at the industry, innit? Like, let's start looking at ourselves, the magnifying glass, innit? Like, we know how it goes. Like, we want to see how these people are making these stupid decisions, because it's obviously they are making stupid decisions. So let's see it. Like, let's see it in a comedic way. I think it's going to be hilarious. I don't know why people have got problems with this, because we need something like this right now.
We do. Rob McAnally plays Ian. We also have the guy, if you're a fan of Always Sunny, the guy that plays Rickett.
Oh, cool.
If you are aware of who he is, or what character he plays in Always Sunny, it's David Hornsby. He plays the character of David in this. We also have Danny Pudi, who was in Community, well known for being in Community. You may know him as Abed from Community, and he makes an appearance in this. His character is called Brad. So I like the way they're just going for like these one name characters. It's very pretentious and definitely suiting to people that work in the industry. But that's coming February 7th. I think we're both looking forward to it. And the thing to move on to is Super Bowl commercials. I don't know if anyone listening had the chance to watch the Super Bowl. It would be last night, since we're recording this, or whether you've had a chance to watch the Super Bowl yet, Tairell. Mainly just like the advertisements and the halftime show.
I haven't really had a chance to like watch all the trailers and stuff like that, but I do have a good knowledge on what trailers and things like that was released. It seems to be just a lot of Marvel, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that was a sort of common theme. The common theme was like a lot of LGBTQ plus advertisements throughout this, which is perfectly fine. There's backlash for it, but I mean, you're always going to get internet moms backlashing something. So there was backlash for it, but no one cared.
Backlash for? I don't understand people. You know, like I really don't. I just really don't. Why do you need to be upset about that now? Then, just
I'd go into detail about it, but we're not.
No, we're not. So
and we're not bringing that stuff.
No. Just let's just not even get into it. We're to talk about the games and the music and TV and film right now because I got smoke for people in it. Like, yeah, I honestly, Tom, I just don't care about none of these films, you know. I'm really sorry. Like, I'm fatigued out on like this. None of these interest me. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I don't want to see that shit.
That's a TV series, not a film.
I know. WandaVision, I don't want to see that. That looked whack. Vision's dead. Film. So what are we doing here?
No, these are prequels as well. Or is he dead? Who knows? That's the interesting bit.
Vision is dead, Tom. Like, what are you talking about? He's dead. This is a part of Phase 4. How could it be a prequel? A prequel for what? Why are they doing this to us? Why are they bringing out prequels? When the universe is already messed up, there's a multiverse now. Like, Jesus Christ. Why are you doing this? They're just...
How do you know this takes place in the same universe?
Because if it doesn't, yeah, Tom, and if they're starting to mess about with multiverses, nobody's going to understand the storyline anymore.
No, but you're making some good money.
This is shit, man. The WandaVision thing just looks like bullcrap. And...
Are you not excited at all for this Marvel stuff?
Loki, yes. That's him.
Not necessarily do you have to watch it, but just like the quality of stuff that like is being produced for TV now.
Yeah.
Because of the whole sort of street. Like, I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to watch all of these things, but I was very surprised about the quality of these Marvel series.
Yeah, because
they match the movie. Like, I know it's not Marvel TV that's doing it now; it's the same as the movie studios. But I was surprised that they literally match the movies, like quality for quality. Like, there's no real.
Oh
difference.
Yeah, of course. That's because Disney's been secretly cancelling some of their other TV series in the background in order to pay for this shit. Which is what people don't talk about either. They announced so many things. Have you know Disney have also cancelled many shows as well at the same time? In the same vein. Like, they put whole shows on pause. Like, because they don't know what to do with the show now. And they're not going to continue with it. So there's now shows within the phases that are not even going to be out. So how is this storyline? I'm not talking about Disney as a streaming service. I'm not talking about the films. I'm talking about the storyline of this story that you've created all over these years. How are you going to continue this storyline properly?
Multiverses.
That don't make sense to the normal consumer. I tried bringing up multiverses the other day. Everyone was like, what's multiverses? I was like, there you go then. Spider-Man obviously wasn't enough information for you. They're doing this there. It's gonna create a problem, I'm telling you. I'm just talking about it by the facts of the film. The film can look good, yeah, but these storylines are garbage, I'm telling you. Like, they're not, like... what am I supposed to do with this? This is a part of the timeline now. This is phase 4. Like, what am I supposed to do with some of these TV shows? I didn't want to see Winter Soldier and Falcon together. I never wanted that. I was never checking for that. I was never checking for WandaVision. With Loki, I'm checking for Loki. Because Loki's cool. I like Tom Hiddleston. But, like, I'm not going to watch Black Widow. Like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm sorry. She's not exciting to me. Black Widow is crap. She's not an exciting character. She's boring.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Not harsh, really. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
She is she's boring. Scarlett Johansson being Scarlett Johansson as usual. Like, what are you gonna do? Kick some people? What are you gonna do? Roundhouse kick everyone? Like, what are we here? Like,
I think the most interesting part of this, then, let's discuss that. The most interesting part is that Loki is in prison for this series. He's in containment, and the question is why and where does this take place? I think that's like the main thing. I think that's going to be the pivotal part of what's going on here.
well, it will be pivotal, yeah, but like they've already said that this is a part of the phases, and as I said, we've got other shows coming out that they haven't announced or done anything. This next like section of like films, it just sounds like it's going to be a mess because it took 10 years to get to Thanos and all of that and the Infinity Gauntlet. So we are going to essentially expect Disney and Marvel to do another 10-year stretch on this storyline. I'm guaranteeing you right now, it ain't going to make sense anymore. There's no way.
I think you'll have less people being so invested in it, but I think you're always going to have that anyway with something like this. It's a once in a life, not lifetime, but it's a once in a franchise thing. Like, everyone's so invested and then it's done. Like, people get bored of superhero movies at some point.
See, but that's
gonna happen.
But that's the thing, though. I don't know if that is going to be the case anymore now because Disney is so ingrained in everyone. They're so much of a massive company that everyone loves Disney for some reason and can't see the bullshit that they do. That everyone got the streaming service. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has got the games. Everyone went and watched Star Wars still, even though they boycotted and slandered it at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, either way, it's still making money. It will still make top book. Even some of the less popular Disney superhero films, like, say for example, we know Captain America. No, was it Captain America? No, not Captain America. Captain Marvel or whatever. Yeah. It garnered a lot of backlash. I don't really know why. I felt like a lot of people.
I don't know why.
I felt like a lot of people were just hating because Brie Larson said a few words about it, and you know what some people are like, man. Like, men get hurt over shit in it. Like, that's some of those fans' gripes have with her. But the film in itself wasn't that bad, and I don't know. I have massive issues with Marvel in it because I read the comics and stuff, and you know, like, I feel like I have a bit of an internal battle and a bias towards certain things because I know how they could do certain things, and I feel like they're just trying to take easy ways out. Like the WandaVision TV show. Tom, honestly, why? Like.
Okay, yeah, I can't explain that one.
He's dead. Vision is dead. Like, I don't understand.
I don't think that's necessarily the weirdest part. I think the sitcom aspect
is
the weirder part.
Yeah, that like whole sitcom aspect. I like they're paying homage to old sitcoms. I was like, are you serious right now? Like, is this what we're doing? We're making this into a sitcom. Are you telling me this is canon in the story?
Mm-hmm.
Canon, Tom.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. Nah, sorry, but fuck that. That's just I'm not having it. I'm just not having it from anyone. And I got some more smoke for everyone else. Fast and Furious 9. That bullshit. Let's get into this as well.
Let's not. Let's just say
the hell is
Fast
Han dead? How the hell is Han alive? Tell me that, Tom. Riddle me that.
I don't know who that is.
The Japanese guy that gets murked in Tokyo Drift.
What? But that was ages ago.
Oh, you thought that was ages ago? So we thought Han was dead. Cool. Comes back in Fast and Furious 5. Han, you're not dead. Nah, I escaped it still. Fast forward. Find out Tokyo Drift is actually in the future. So Tokyo Drift isn't a prequel. It's actually in the future. Crazy, right?
Okay, moving on. That franchise.
Oh my god, that franchise is absolutely garbage. I heard Cardi B is going to be in this film. That just is even more reason. Just turn it off, everyone. Just turn it off.
Yeah. I have no words about that.
I have no words.
No Time to Die, new James Bond film. Looks okay. Rami Malek plays the villain. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Does he? Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I'm in. I can always do with a bit of Bond still. Bond's alright with me.
Might be Daniel Craig's last film, might not be. But, I mean, it's not too bad. We also have the new Top Gun.
I ain't got nothing to say about this.
Because if you weren't nostalgic about that film, then what better than to release another one? I don't know how many years later. I mean, is there much you can do with the Top Gun story? Isn't it just a typical cheesy story?
Yeah, usually like, what was Top Gun about before?
It's about an American pilot.
Yeah, isn't he like? Is Tom Cruise? Isn't he like a kind of like a playboy or like something like? I don't know. I don't care in it. Like Tom Cruise has been doing the same role for like the last 10 years now, and we won't point it out for some reason. He's been making Mission Impossibles, and we haven't stopped him. He's doing Top Gun 2 again. He's still in Scientology. Why don't we stop Tom Cruise?
Probably because he's in Scientology.
Yeah, it's probably it. I'm going to stop talking about that.
We do have a trailer for The Invisible Man, which looks a very interesting film.
Hold on. Hold on. The Invisible Man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
what's the thing you can't comprehend about this? Is it that you can't see the person?
Like it's a remaster of another film. That's why I'm just like, why are we doing this again?
Mm-hmm.
It's Hollow Man.
Because it's yeah, but it's good to repackage this stuff.
It's Hollow Man again. Oh my god, there was Hollow Man 2. Hollow Man was so shit as well. Like, oh my gosh, I'm done. I am absolutely done. Like, my god, like we are literally in the darkest timeline right now.
Mm-hmm. We can move on to some films that were shown off that I'm looking forward to, though. Starting with Mulan, the live action for Mulan.
See,
I'm looking forward to this film.
That makes sense because there's not too much crazy mythical shit that happens in Mulan, except for the dragon. Like,
so except for the little talking dragon.
Except for the little talking dragon. But that's enough, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, some of these live actions that they did, on Disney, just too much CGI everywhere. Like, enough.
Hey, Aladdin was good.
Oh, man. Tom. No. I don't know if he was ill that time. Maybe he thought it was good, but, man, I tried to watch the first 15 minutes of that. I was like, God. So I'm not doing this. I'm not watching Aladdin again. Like, with worse singing. Like, I'm not doing it.
Aladdin was a really good film, I think. Maybe I just like the source material a lot, though. Like, by source material, I don't mean, like, the actual story. I mean, like, the Disney source material.
You don't like the real Aladdin?
Well, I mean, there's not much difference.
Yeah, the Mulan trailer was actually pretty interesting. I will give it to Disney. That looks actually kind of okay, and I'm glad that they've got an Asian protagonist, and the film looks like it looks right so far. Hopefully, it comes out. I don't think it's going to be as popular as some of these other ones, but a lot of these live action films with Disney haven't been as popular as they expected. Like Dumbo really flopped, so
yeah, I've not seen Dumbo yet. I don't think.
I wouldn't bother.
But yes, I've been following this for a long time because if anything would make a good live action,
it'd be Mulan.
Mulan will make a really good live action.
Like, that scene when they're all the guys are there and the avalanche. Oh, yeah. I'm in on Mulan still. So I'll go watch Mulan. I don't mind that. That just sounds like there's going to be bear fighting in there as well. Like, come on now. So
it's basically a musical samurai film.
That's sick.
That's basically what it is.
That's sick.
Like,
that's absolutely sick. Is there anything?
A Quiet Place Part 2. Did you see the original Quiet Place?
I actually haven't watched Quiet Place 1 yet. I don't know why,
very, very good
but I've just
film.
been putting it off. But I felt like I should watch it definitely before number 2 comes out, because so many people tell me about how great a Quiet Place is, and I love horror films, so I should really check it out.
Yeah, it is a very good horror film. John Krasinski, obviously best known for playing Jim in The Office, and his wife Emily Blunt star in this. John Krasinski wrote this. I think he produced it and directed it.
I think
as well,
John
maybe,
Krasinski did all of it, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Go Jim.
But it's really, really good film, the first film. Very interesting concept and very well executed, which is... That's the hard thing. People can have a really good concept, especially in horror, and then not execute it well. Or the concept's not that good, but it could be executed well. Like, it's very hard that people get both. And this is both. And I think part 2 will be interesting because it'll take the story down a different path as well, but not too distant.
Okay.
I don't want to give anything away.
Do you know what? Yeah, I might try and get in on that tonight, actually. See if I can watch Quiet Place.
I would. It's a really, really good film.
Yeah.
And again, really good films. Sonic the Hedgehog is coming. And
I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah,
Sponge on the Run.
I'm not even gonna lie. The Sonic film doesn't look too bad now. Like, as considering all things, the re-edit looks a lot better. Like, I would consider the film now. But that's if I've got time and I've got spare money, because I'm not doing it like.
I will consider this
seeking.
film.
I'm first and foremost. I'm definitely not going to watch Sonic the Hedgehog on Valentine's Day, and I gotta. Go on now, Tom.
I don't know who picked that release date.
I don't know who picked that release date either. That was the most dumbest release date I've ever.
Would you So let's bring that back. This movie, you said it doesn't look too bad now. I agree with you on the fact that, like, I went and watched Detective Pikachu and enjoyed the film.
Yo, Detective Pikachu was hard. I watched that as well, and it was good. But
it wasn't necessarily a good film. It's just because you go in and don't expect it to be serious that it was a good film, and I think that's perfectly fine for something like those type of characters. So Sonic fits that perfectly. If you're going into this expecting, I don't know. If you're going into this expecting a serious film about a hedgehog that runs, I don't know what you'll. I have no words to explain what I would think about someone that did that. But yeah, these films, like, have like a few beers or something before you go see the film, and it makes it even better because they're designed to be light-hearted and
just laugh.
Goofy.
You just laugh at it, innit? And just be like, yeah, this is.
I mean, if you're going into this and expecting like a 90% rated Metacritic film, you have problems. Like, critics are not going to rate this film highly because it's not intended for critics. It's just made for audiences that like that character and don't mind watching a film about that character with Jim Carrey, and like it's gonna be a goofy ass film, and no one really cares about that. Like, that's the whole point. It's a fucking blue hedgehog that runs around in speedy shoes collecting gold rings, like, and he fights a egg person. Like, there's not much more I can really say to explain that, is there?
He fights an egg. Oh my gosh! Like, we are just the worst. I explain, like, that was the worst way to explain Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, oh my gosh, Sonic is a blue hedgehog
is.
that runs super fast. He has knuckles and he has tails. He's somehow like always an arch nemesis with Dr. Eggman, who's trying to turn him into like a robot. That's the like I think the original premise of the game. And then there's Chaos Emeralds, but it doesn't look like Chaos Emeralds. I think Chaos Emeralds might be in Sonic the Hedgehog, actually, the film. There's something of mention of chaos in there. I kind of want to see this do well, so that we have like a sequel, so they start bringing all the Sonic characters in there. That'd be hilarious.
I don't.
That'd be really funny. I want to see Tails.
But yeah, basically it's Blue Hedgehog versus Humpty Dumpty with a mustache, and it's gonna be great. It's great. Ginger Humpty Dumpty with a mustache. It's great. And then yeah, obviously SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. Don't really know what this is or if it should be a thing. It's got Keanu Reeves in it for some bizarre reason.
Because everyone for some reason thinks that like if they put Keanu Reeves in their film or like bring him out on stage to say that he's a part of the project, it's like everyone's gonna buy it or
Snoop
something.
Dogg in it.
Like it's like he's got some type of like.
You are aware this has Snoop Dogg in it?
Snoop's in it.
Yes.
Do you know what, yo? I'm digging the art style though on it. I think it's very interesting. No, I just think it's very interesting for an animated film. It just doesn't look normal. Do you know what I mean? Like it looks quite unique, which is to say for some films like the animation style is just always the same, innit? Like there's one problem that people always have with like certain DreamWorks animation films. Like people didn't like How to Train a Dragon because of the way it looked. But then when you're a person who enjoys, say for example, Pixar films so much, they don't look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we should point out, have you seen that other film, Guns Akimbo? That looks hard, with Daniel Radcliffe.
I have not, but I have heard about that.
It's really, really... It's basically like, he just gets thrown into like a real-life virtual game, and he has two guns stuck to his hands, and he has to just basically figure out how to get out of this game.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I like this whole gaming going into other medias and people actually like trying to do stuff like that now. It's getting interesting. I like the crossovers. I like the crossover episodes.
Yeah, I wasn't good at it. I like crossover like stuff now as well. Like people like to get more involved in different areas, and like we're probably going to see some major collaborations this decade. This is what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. We've been about sort of major crossovers and stuff. Just quickly, Disney has purchased the rights for Hamilton. That's the distribution rights for Hamilton. They're going to record Hamilton, basically a live performance of it. They're going to record a live performance the best they can. Make it look really nice. Make it feel like you're in the actual theatre, and then release it in movie theatres. Because there's a big demand for Hamilton tickets, and not everyone can go and see it. Disney have bought the rights for $75 million, and are then going to distribute it in theaters 2021 October apparently. So interesting. But Disney are now going to be releasing Broadway musicals on the big screen.
Wow, that is yeah. That is very, very... that's a big deal, to be honest, because I know people really want to watch Hamilton and stuff like that. Like, yeah, but I know that the original guy, he doesn't really ever perform in Hamilton now, so I'm guessing that this version of the film will probably be him performing in Hamilton, like the definitive edition, I guess, of that play.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda will be, I'm guessing, playing the role that he plays. Obviously, he has a good existing relationship with Disney. He helped. I think he wrote the soundtrack for Moana.
He's wrote bare things. I didn't even know he wrote a song in Rise of the Skywalker. He's currently in his Dark Materials. He's doing music for The Little Mermaid at the moment. He did Moana.
he starred in the live-action remake. Well, not the live-action remake, but the sequel, the live-action sequel to Mary Poppins. So he has an existing relationship with Disney, and
he's releasing
does well.
And he's releasing another film as well that is one of his plays that have been brought to the screens, which is In the Heights as well. Like, he's doing a lot at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan, big advocate of Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it's actually quite nice to see Disney invested in something like that. But Tairell hates Disney, so we won't discuss it too much.
What about what? What? You won't discuss what?
About Disney funding musicals.
Disney funds everyone, man.
See,
no, but they do though. Like, I'm not surprised, am I? Like, that Disney funding the musicals. Like, of course they are. Like, let's find out what else Disney's currently funding. Yeah, let's not get into that though, shall we? Anyway, moving on swiftly. One Piece live action. Now that's something that everyone can get into. Then I say, no. I was saying,
is it just Netflix?
But I say,
but
then I say Netflix at the end of it, and I was like, the Death Note adaptation was really trash. Like, I don't know.
Netflix has a very good reputation of turning anime into live action,
and it's bad. Like,
and that reputation is very good in the sense that everyone knows how bad they are at doing it. Because they've done it with a lot of stuff, and it doesn't work.
Hold on now. So we've got a guy who worked on Lost and The X-Files, and Matt Owens who did Luke Cage, who did Luke Cage and Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. are adapting One Piece and executive producing as well, along with Matty Eldersting and Becky Clements, and also there's going to be, I know the name Becky Clements from somewhere, and then Oda is also actually apparently going to be overseeing the entire adaptation. So I have faith in this because Oda...
I don't.
But Oda won't allow for something like that to happen. And it's a 10-episode adaptation, so it's not a film. So I can see this being good. If it's done by Netflix Japan and they're doing it properly, this can be really good. I'm telling you. Like, if they get it right, it could be really good. Because the last Death Note film... that was an American studio, and they didn't have the original Death Note creator overseeing the project either. So that's why the film turned out the way it did.
I don't know if One Piece really needs to be made into a live action.
Oh, he announced the production of this back in 2017, so this is not new news. Sorry.
I don't know if it needs to be made into live action though. I don't think it does.
I don't think it needs to be made into live action, but hell.
I think Cowboy Bebop has more reason to be made into live action than One Piece.
Fair enough.
Again, I don't know if that needs to, but I think it has more. That and Akira have more relevance to go into live action.
Then like
One Piece doesn't. It reminds me more of like a Peter Pan-esque thing. I don't want that to sound offensive.
That sounds. You are offending me right now, Tom.
I'm not saying One Piece is Peter Pan.
I have a One Piece t-shirt on right now. I'm actually not lying. That's actually weird. I do have a One Piece t-shirt on right now from Uniqlo.
Wow. All right, moving on.
What do you mean moving on? What's it going? Let's talk about all the bullshit you have. Like,
we don't have a lot of time left.
Oh, we don't have a lot of time left now. Oh yeah, of course. Let's move on to the Grammys now and the music.
We only have 15 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. Bullshit. Yeah. Cool.
We don't have
time to get into Tom's Pop Funko collection he has. Try to laugh at me because I got a t-shirt. It's really cool as well. It's pink. And it's got all the characters on there. Oh yeah, it's cool. I have to justify myself to you.
Yeah, but would you buy that t-shirt if it was live action characters?
No.
Okay, that's my point.
No, how is that the point?
I don't think it needs.
Tom, as you just said, we are running out of time. We are not going to get through all these Grammys at all. So let's just start with the important ones. Let's talk about the bullshit that's happened. And let's get on with it.
Transition.
Bridging the gap between music and gaming. 808s and Joysticks.com.
Grammys. You say running out of time. The time came and Igor won.
Yeah. Even though I feel like should have been album of the year, in my opinion. But I digress. I don't think it was a full rap album. I felt like it had more R&B elements on the album. But, you know, we could have that's a massive debate, I feel like.
I don't think it should have been album of the year.
And you think Billie Eilish's album should have been album of the year then?
I think from...
Come on, Tom. Don't yo, what you're about to say comes out your mouth next.
I'm not saying I'm trying to not be personal about it. I'm trying to, like, from a collective impact point of view, then yes, I do think that her album should have been album of the year.
Nah, she didn't even
personally, was it my album of the year? No. But I have to respect that it was a good album, and her and her brother did very well to make that album and get so much recognition for it, and it probably should have been album of the year for that.
I'm gonna stop right there anyway. Billie Eilish is the industry plant that's been built up by Hollywood, and her family is very...
You say this about everyone that comes on the screen.
Because they all of the ones that are the most popular they've got the machine behind them. They've got the machine. Even Tyler's got the machine a little bit behind him now. Like, we all know that. But all I'm saying is, Billie Eilish came out of nowhere, yeah. The album, personally, is not album of the year. I don't know how you can say that's album of the year, in my opinion. Cool, I get it. If I'm taking personal opinion away from everything, I wouldn't call Eagle album of the year either. If I really, really sat down and thought about everything, Eagle probably wouldn't be my...
Thank you next.
It probably wouldn't be my... I wouldn't say thank you next. I had an idea what album should have been album of the year. Like, in my opinion, if we was going to talk all music and everything like that, if we was going to really fine tooth go over every single aspect of music over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what I picked. I can't remember what I picked because there's so much music that came out last year.
Is any of the albums on the album of the year list?
No.
Okay.
Well, why would I pick any of these albums? Like, I by Bon Iver was really good, but I couldn't call that album of the year. Norman fucking Rockwell was
Very
Lana
good
Del Rey again, and When We All Fall Asleep, I was like, yeah, Billie Eilish, it was just really not for me, like, at all. I used to know her. Yes, it was a really good album, but it also had a lot of other her songs I already knew. 7 by Lil Nas X isn't an album. Cause I Love You by Lizzo came out years ago. Father of the Bride by Vampire Weekend was actually pretty good. I like that album.
Yeah. I agree with all of those nominations apart from Lil Nas and Lizzo. And I also seen the video of Lizzo jumping on a table at the Grammys, and that was hilarious.
Oh, I don't know if that was real or not. You know, I heard it wasn't her.
It's not her.
Yeah,
it looked like her.
I know. Yeah, people are saying that apparently it wasn't her, but I don't know, and it's just Twitter, innit? I can't remember. I will come back to this though because I need to say what I need to say because I know this whole Billie Eilish thing. Like, I get it. Yeah, okay, yeah. She did all these things. Yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, she didn't do all these things by herself. So like, I want to stop right there. She did not make all of her videos by herself. She didn't do everything by herself. She's had a lot of help as well. So like, that is my whole problem, I feel like, with this whole thing. Because people keep saying she did this by herself with her brother. And that's not true. So like it's not true. The whole marketing, everything about it, that's not true. You can't do things like that by yourselves with little backing. Do you know how well produced all those things were? She had an Adobe advert, for God's sake.
I think it's limited stuff. Like if you see the progression.
Oh, wait! Breaking goddamn news! Blizzard is offering automatic refunds for Warcraft 3 Reforged. Damn.
New Warcraft on the way.
New Warcraft is definitely on the way. They're definitely releasing Classic again. Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, breaking news. Shouts out to Polygon. But yeah, carry on.
Back to that. Yes. I think it's not necessarily that they did it all themselves, but it's like majority of the stuff. Yeah, they did do a lot of the stuff themselves. Like, obviously, you still need help from professionals around you, and your marketing done by your record label, stuff like that. But her progression is very natural. I've known about her for a long time, and her progression is very natural.
She's got 2 projects. What are you talking about? Like, what progression?
It's not.
She's barely been out, Tom. Come on, man.
She's been around for at least 3 years.
Oh yeah.
This is not Lil Nas X that turned up with this.
And Lil Nas X didn't turn up because he's been on the internet for a long time. He was a meme account,
doing meme stuff.
Exactly. And he had other songs before that as well, which people didn't know because I already listened to them on SoundCloud before he removed them. So he's been around. So you can have the same argument for him, but I know that Lil Nas X is bullshit.
Is he an industry plant?
Yeah, of course Lil Nas X is an industry plant. Okay. Of course he is.
So who's not an industry plant?
Of course Lil Nas X is... Tom, how is a Stan account, a Nicki Minaj Stan account, is won a Grammy? How the hell can you tell me that's not a friggin' industry plant? Come on, man. You're acting stupid now. You're just letting things slide for no reason to make your point. You're telling me Lil Nas X really is an industry plant? Are you honestly trying to tell me that right now?
No, I'm telling you, Billie Eilish is not an industry plant. All right, cool. Like, Lil Nas X, I believe, is an industry plant. Yeah,
Billie Eilish is definitely an industry plant. Come on, man. She didn't even go to school. Like, come on. She's an industry plant. She didn't go to school. She didn't go to real school. Like, come on, man. Come on. Just stop this. Just stop it all. I'm not believing it.
But then, are you saying Taylor Swift's an industry plant?
Well, Taylor Swift's dad owned the label she was on. So, yeah. What are you telling me?
Because I'm saying, like, she's not necessarily an industry plant. Her dad owned the label she's on. Just because someone's homeschooled and their parents were, like, really shit actors in Hollywood doesn't necessarily mean they're a plant or, they didn't go to school. It's just they were homeschooled.
So, okay, all right then. So her releasing a song on SoundCloud and then receiving praise, and then she got signed to an A&R company by Apple Music. So, like, I'm still trying to figure out, like, like how does this all work? Like, not
that doesn't mean someone's an industry plant. Like, it just means that
gave the song that he wrote originally for his band to his sister, so she didn't even write the lyrics. Like, I'm trying to tell you she's an industry plant, but it's cool, innit? Like, I know you don't think she's an industry plant, like. Because
technically everyone
that's Eilish got a publicist who connected her to fashion company Chanel and a stylist who shaped her image. How the hell did she get connected with Chanel? Chanel, do you know what Chanel is? Do you know what the company Chanel is and how much money it makes and what a fashion house of that is? How did she get connected by Chanel that early on in her career? You want to tell me that's an industry plan or not?
Through labels.
She wasn't signed yet. She wasn't signed. What are you talking about, Tom? She wasn't signed yet. I'm reading the info. Alright, cool. Forget it. I'm not talking to you about it anymore because you're ignoring the facts. Like, why are you ignoring the facts for?
The point that you're trying to make is everyone could be an industry plant.
Well, how is
everyone technically is in the music industry if you get signed?
Well, not really, because I can go and trace back and source back their early beginnings and see videos of them on YouTube actually actively trying to make music, whereas Billie Eilish wasn't before. She recorded a song that was written by her brother. Was she asking?
Mm-hmm. And her brother was doing stuff for a long time. But are you saying that Justin Bieber's an industry plant?
No, Biebs is on YouTube singing his little heart out at one point. Like, he was out here trying to make moves. You know, like, I'm not calling Beebs an industry plant because I don't think he was. He was on YouTube. There is a digital footprint of Justin Bieber doing stuff beforehand. There is no footprint of Billie Eilish doing that. I'm telling you already. Every information that I'm reading right now points to her being an industry plant. Like, how has her song gotten put in 13 Reasons Why? How did she get that already? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that she did when she shouldn't have been able to do at such... And I just want to know how. Because she's an industry plant, obviously.
It's called contacts.
Okay.
It's not necessarily industry plant. It's just
okay.
Growing up around the area, you probably
got to deal with Interscope. She's currently like one of the biggest things right now. Like, it's all just pointing to industry plant. Like, I'm just telling you, but it is what it is, isn't it, man? There's so many things that I can build up. Like, if you're really upset that because I'm attacking Billie Eilish here, all right. There's many arguments that are being made that Chance the Rapper is an industry plant, and I can see why. Like, he could be, due to his dad being, you know, like an advisor to Obama, all sorts of things like that.
That's the point I'm making, though. Just because your family comes into contact, or you in your life at an early stage come into contact with people, and, you know, maybe show your talent to them or whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean you are an industry plant. That just means that you got better luck than other people.
Not really, because if you wasn't ever starting out to think that you was ever gonna do something like that, like in the first place, if you never ever thought like, oh, like, I know that this industry's there, like yeah, she comes from a family where like some people are doing stuff and like music and that. I'm just saying, yeah, the way how it all goes and the way how it looks, yeah, it looks funny to me, innit? That's all I'm saying, innit? That's all I'm saying. It just looks funny to me. I understand where you're going, and I understand what you're trying to say, because you think that she's, I don't know, like, organic or whatever, but we'll see how she moves
I don't think she's
over the next...
I don't think she's wholly organic. I think the record label plays a big part in that, but I think that like her and her brother are very like organic in the way that they speak to people and are very open about their lives and stuff like that. Like, I do believe that they had a privileged life to a degree and just sort of gained the benefit of that from being around that area.
I don't know. I was quite I'm not saying anything else now. I don't know. You won't engage with me in a conversation about industry plants, because you're saying that I'm saying everyone is an industry plant, but like, all I'm saying is like, there is so much to suggest that people are like, and it's just one of those things where like, yeah, a lot of music and stuff like that is dictated for us and is put in our ears. That's why playlists are a thing. That's why the radio exists. Like, we don't have a choice on what we were supposed to listen to. That is the popular song at the time. There's so many songs.
808s and Joysticks weekly playlist.
Exactly. There's so many songs. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. We try and put different music on there. Fair enough. Like, some popular music is also on there too. But that is the whole point of it. It's just what is popular at the time. There's music right now that is out that everyone knows that I have no clue about the song. And I'm like, oh, I've never heard this because I don't listen to the radio. So why would I know what that song is? It's never reached me yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it hasn't reached me, and I get what you're trying to say. But Billie Eilish is far from this bedroom girl that everyone thinks that she's. That's all I'm saying in it. Like, that's my opinion on it all. I've looked at the facts. I've looked at all the articles. I've looked at how she started out. I looked at the growth. It's all pointing out that she had a high industry contact from the get-go. And that's how her career has got here. We all know the Grammys is rigged up. Like, what are we here to talk about? Old Town Road just won for Best Pop Duo and Group Performance. It was nominated in Best Rap as well. What are we talking about here?
It was a banger.
Alright, cool.
I'm just saying it was.
It wasn't a banger. It wasn't a banger though, really, is it? It's just it was a stupid meme song that got popular. out of nowhere because everyone allowed it to get popular. How is Lil Nas X going to maneuver after this song? He probably isn't.
He isn't. It was a good song, but that's it. We are running out of time very quickly. But albums that come out recently, we have Big Conspiracy by J Hus, Dreaming of David by Ryan Beatty.
Real album by a real Don.
What, Dreaming of David by Ryan Beatty?
No, J Hus, The Big Conspiracy. It's number 1 currently in the UK. Go cop that.
It is a good album. I mean, all these albums are good albums. Funeral by Lil Wayne, Huncholini the First by M. Huncho, and Baby by Theophilus London. All really good albums. All something slightly different as well. Singles, then we have, again, probably a little bit more, but not too much to caught our attention. Justin Bieber come out with Get Me, his second single off his upcoming album Changes, and a Summer Walker remix of Yummy. Dua Lipa released a new song, Physical. It's up to you if you like that or not. That's what I've got to say on that. Gorillaz, Slow Tie and Slaves released a single called Momentary Bliss. Weird combination, but works very well.
There's a Gorillaz and Tame Impala collaboration coming soon,
which is going to be good.
That's going to be really good still. Yeah, sounds sick.
Lil Nas X and Nas. So Nas, it's a Nas. Rodeo. Seems like he's playing on this Western theme still, and it's not really a country song, this. And now he's got Nas meme.
It's just stupid.
Cheat codes. Yeah.
It's just absolutely
cheat codes.
Dumb. Oh, by the way, did you know that this is not a remix? This is Lil Nas X Nas Rodeo is replacing the Cardi B version. Apparently this is going to come on the upcoming album. This is the kind of bullshit we're going to deal with now because everyone's allowed him to win a Grammy.
Don't think anyone's buying that album.
Yes, they are. The TikTokers and the kids, Tom. We're in the. I told you, we're in the darkest timeline. It's shit now. Like everyone is like buying music that is fucking made for them. Cool, innit? I'm gonna go back to listen to lo-fi hip hop. Fuck everyone.
We have finally cheat codes. Trippie Redd, Black Bear, and Princess Rosie with No Service in the Hills. Pretty decent song, to be fair. Wasn't expecting it. But that's most stuff from us. If you do want that in-depth discussion on industry plants, then please let us know because it can be arranged. What we've learnt from today's show is that Tairell does not like Blizzard, still has a hatred for Disney,
yep,
and is very, very passionate about industry plants.
I am, because it happens all the time. Like I'm just saying that they're there, innit? Like I'm not having people trying to tell me that like this artist is equivocally better than another artist because they've got a Grammy now. But I'm like, yeah, but their growth wasn't. Just forget it. It's been a great show, everyone. 808s and Joysticks. Go cop the playlist, weekly playlist, update it all the time, and go on the Instagram. We're trying to do our best to just get back on track and schedule. It's been quite a rough few, kind of like a rough few days for Tom at the moment. He's got some stuff to do. I have some things to take care of as well. So we're out here.
I mean, I'm just busy at work. It's not like a rough.
No, not like that. But yeah. I didn't really want to get into the semantics of it all in it. Like, it's cool. Either way, 808s and Joysticks, thanks for supporting. This is episode, this is 50. And I think it was a great few topics to discuss for the 50th. We ain't gonna do nothing too special. We just get straight to the nitty gritty.
.808s and Joysticks with Tom Stone and Tairell Haywood Brown.